Good morning. Well, probably lunchtime actually. It's about midday, I think, over here. And I decided it was time to come out and have a little bit of a journey. So we're going down in amongst the polytunnels. This weekend, well actually Tuesday is a fiesta day in Thahine. And having come this way, it looks like they're putting up a covering over a metal structure. And I think there is going to be a bar there and some food and everything set up there. So you never know, we might be going to that. You can probably notice that the hill is reasonably steep. So I don't know that I'll be going at full speed down this hill because it is a little bit steep, but never mind. As you can see around, lots of polytunnels, but also an awful lot of green. The apricot season is over. We've just had an intensive 2, maybe 3 weeks of them picking all the apricots. And somebody keeps, I don't know if that's to shoot birds or if it's them working in the quarry or what it is, but it's been going on all morning and it frightens me to death every time they do it. I've lost my train of thought now with them doing that, but never mind. There's a lot still growing. Obviously, I don't know what the next lot of fruits are going to be, or vegetables. They have, in amongst all the olive trees and the apricot trees, you will often see rows of tomato plants, because they'll grow some of those as well. They do make use of every bit of land that they can and grow all sorts of things around here, which is lovely. And they're also very generous. If they have more than they can use, rather than throw them out, they will give them to people. So I haven't bought tomatoes for weeks. I won't be buying lettuce soon because the ones that Keith planted are growing. He's had quite a few of his radish, which are big and quite hot, he says. We have quite a few beetroot that are getting ready. He's also growing courgettes, peppers, cucumbers. I can't remember what else. Loads of stuff, really. So, we will have lots of that. Having come down a steep hill, we now go up, not quite as steep, but a short, steep incline. So, but that's okay. It's quite pleasant, and the wheelchair does it, so that's good enough. So, over there, you can see an awful lot of fertiliser bags. If I do it that way, it's probably easier. And they use these inside the polytunnels, particularly if they're growing like the carnations and the flowers. They plant them in there at a reasonable height so you don't have to bend down to pick them, which is very considerate. In some of them anyway, some of them are lower. And once they're finished with them, they chuck them outside. So we're thinking one day we might actually, well, we need some more compost, we might actually ask if they don't need them all. And if I turn around a second, I've just seen where they're putting a covering on the structure. And I'll see if I can sort of straight above the polytunnels. There's a house that you can see. I don't know if I can get my hand in the way now, but so that's where they're working, where all the cars are, and they're putting like a covering over that just in case, and I don't know why. So I've remembered what I was going to say, which was that I did not realise just how much fruit was around here. The amount of apricots we have seen in the last few weeks, and the amount of big articulated lorries that have been there to actually take them on I imagine sell them somewhere. So if you're getting apricots in the UK at the moment, they may well be coming from here, although probably they were a bit too ripe to be travelling that far. A large fig tree, and I don't know when the figs will be ready, but they are growing quite well at the moment. So, but of course it also helps that you get quite a lot of shade from the fig trees and everything. So it's nice. I'm going to see if I can see what they're growing in there. Nothing. It has been stuff in there, but now it's all dead. So I think this next one there was somebody working in the other day. Yeah, there looks like there's something in there, but you can't really see. And then we have an apple tree with apples coming on it, and a Nispero tree, which they taste a little bit bitter when you first taste them, but they're not bad, and they're seemingly a bit like quince and used for making jam and such like. So lots of different things to try and taste over here. So, hola.
Hola. Tomarzo.
Sí. He was telling me about I was enjoying the sun, which yes I am, obviously. So, but yeah, I mean, it's strange to live in amongst all the polytunnels, but it's actually very nice because most of the time it is extremely quiet, which is very nice for us. We're used to it being fairly quiet because where we lived in the UK was quiet. I know we lived in a town, but we were on the very edge and it was quiet. So the other thing over here, the tractors are an awful lot smaller than they are in the UK. That one over there is actually quite a large one for over here, and John Deere are very popular over here. They also do Fiat tractors, which Keith, who's been involved with farming all his life, has never seen a Fiat tractor before. But then he did inform me that Lamborghini started off making tractors. So, if they can start off making tractors and end up making supercars, then I suppose that's not too bad. Reservoir probably about half full, but according to Patricia, our landlord's daughter, there isn't actually a problem with water in this area. Some parts of Spain there is a big problem with water. Oh, also wheat grows here. So as I say, they make the most of everything and grow anything that they can. I'm not really sure what that is. Is it tomatoes? If it is, I can't actually see any tomatoes on it. But they look a bit like a tomato plant. Yes, it's a tomato. I recognise the flower. I'll be a gardener by the time I'm 55,000 years old, maybe. The tunnel on my right here has obviously had carnations in it. You can tell by actually the little bits that are left. They look like carnation stems. So. Still a few poppies around, but they are finishing the season now, so... and the olives are developing little buds. There. If I can get a bit closer to one of the olive trees, I'll have a look and see if there are any. Yeah, there are. And there are little olives on there, which, is good because Keith likes his olives. So all I've got to do then is learn what you do with them, because you don't eat them straight from the tree. You have got to do something with them, and it depends. Everybody seemingly does something slightly different, so we'll learn. That is our villa. So you can see we're actually set away from lots of other properties. There's two sort of either end of the garden, but as we're on a 5,000 square metre plot, and so the garden's quite large, and one of the houses we don't think's occupied anyway. We've only seen somebody come down to it once, so, you know. But never mind. Never mind. Ah, not such a good day today because I suppose I'm sad because I've lost my best friend. But he would not want me crying all the time, so I'm not going to. Or at least try not to. In that polytunnel, there's carnations coming up. So some of them are beautiful, you know. Oh, now I have no idea what that is on that tree. But I will be back in a few weeks and we'll find out, hopefully. So it is very much a voyage of discovery with all the different fruit trees and everything and the vegetables. In the UK, I had never tried artichokes before because I thought I wasn't going to like them. I don't like vegetables. I'd always convinced myself I didn't. And I never used to eat them as a child, like most children. But we had them a few times over here now because they're very popular over here. They're actually very nice. But I'm going to have to learn how to cook them properly. I tried roasting them the other night, and that was a disaster. But hey, there are other ways, and I'm sure I'll find out. There is the odd 1 or 2 apricots left on the trees, but very, very few. And they have teams of people who literally go around fruit picking. And they come in and they pick for hours and then they go on, you know. Our landlord, I think, mainly uses his family because that way he doesn't have to pay out for people to do his fruit picking. So, you know. And because he has got 3 villas for sale, I don't know if he's used most of his money building the houses, and now he's actually finding things a bit tight because he's got 3 villas and not managed to sell any of them yet. So we did get told the other day that if we wanted any of the 3 of the villas, we could have it. But what he wants is a bit more money than we want to pay. And that, of course, brings us then to the decision of where do we actually want to live in Spain? Because we've been told that this area, it gets cold in the winter, but we hear conflicting stories. One person told us that they had had 6 weeks of frost this year. Scooter coming somewhere. And we've also been told that it gets to 50 degrees or mid-50s over here. So I'm not really sure. This bit's a bit bumpy, but I can sort of show you, hopefully, another of the villas that the landlord has built. I might actually be able to show you the other 2 from here. You might see one of them behind a wall, but trying to avoid the overhanging branches as well. Right. That one there is very similar to ours in layout, looking at it from here. It's, you know, you've got the terrace balcony on the end, then the lounge, then the 2 windows, and then the master bedroom window. The one over there is his other one, but that one I actually quite like the look of because it's got more of like an overhang of the roof, so maybe a bigger terrace area. And that would be nice because I actually like being out in the fresh air, and it is very difficult to, with where we are, to sit outside and eat. Yes, you can sit on the terrace,